Getting you ready for Week 13, the rest of Week 13 right now on FFT Express. Yes, Week 13 has been pretty busy so far. You've already had 4 games. Heath, how are your Thursday and Friday fantasy outcomes? Doing all right?
You know, when you have 25 teams, some of them are good, some of them are bad.
Exactly. All right, let's get to it here with the weather. You know, it's my favorite. I love it when we have bad weather, and we have bad weather in Cleveland and maybe in New Jersey, where the New York teams play, for Atlanta and the Jets. What are we doing with those situations?
Well, we didn't want to start Brock Purdy or Shedeur Sanders anyway. We now want to start them even less. We didn't really want to start any Browns wide receivers. Juwan Jennings has fallen from a high-end wide receiver for me, wide receiver 3, to a low-end wide receiver 3. I'm not discounting the tight ends quite as much. I'm still starting Kittle. Fannin is still a low-end tight end 1 for me. And McCaffrey's awesome, and Judkins is a borderline start.
Okay, the other game, according to Kevin Roth of Roto Grinders, that is in the orange. It's actually yellow/orange, which is not as bad as San Francisco Cleveland, which is just orange, is Atlanta at the Jets. And, you know, passing game is...
Didn't want to start those guys anyway.
No, but, you know, look, let me see how rostered John Mechie is, because he was someone that's coming off 2 games in a row with a touchdown. And
I think he was the ultimate... Yay, I got John Mechie. Oh, I don't want to start him.
He's 19% rostered. He's 6% started right now. And the kickers in these games aren't really great, but, you know, you could get away from the kickers is one thing to do. Also, just go to rotogrinders.com and look at Kevin Roth's weather report, because you might want to get away from kickers in other games. It's could be a rainy weekend. You know, it's ugly out. It's just a bad weather weekend. And quite honestly, the weather was really adverse in that Philadelphia game. It really threw off the quarterbacks. That throw to Romo Dunze in the end zone, for example. So that game was only listed as a yellow, so nothing's perfect here. But, you know, weather sucks. Okay. Anyway, Aaron Rodgers is going to start. His left tackle is on IR, however. Not that you're starting Aaron Rodgers. Baker Mayfield is expected to play, so that's a big one, Heath. What does this mean for you?
It means I'm more excited about starting Emeka Egbuka. It means I'm more open to starting Cade Otton or flexing Tez Johnson. I don't really want to start Baker. He's QB 14 for me, so I'd rather start Jacoby Brissett. I'd rather start Jackson Dart. I'd rather start Bo Nix.
Okay, other quarterback news. CJ Stroud is going to start, but Daniel Jones has this leg injury, and he is going to play. But when you saw the video of him and got the news that he's dealing with a fractured fibula, did you downgrade Pittman and everyone? And then you could talk about Tyler Warren, who's questionable with an illness.
I haven't downgraded the pass catchers very much. They weren't must start this week anyway. Houston's defense is so good. I think Jones fell from QB 16 to QB 19. I'm a little less excited about the rushing potential for him, which he's been really spotty so far this year anyway. But no, Tyler Warren's still a must-start tight end. Michael Pittman's still a high-end wide receiver 3. Alec Pierce and Josh Downs still kind of what the heck flexes.
Okay, just getting some breaking news here coming in. We'll get to that in a minute here. By the way, as far as Warren dealing with his illness, that is a 1:00 game, so you should be able. You'll know if he's playing. In fact, I don't really know that we're waiting for much. Kincaid would be the one that we're waiting to see on. That's a 4:00 game. And let's take a quick break. We'll talk about the Chargers running backs. We'll talk about Bucky Irving. We'll talk about Trey Benson being out and Zonovan Knight expected to play. Marvin Harrison Jr., Brian Thomas Jr. Do we trust these guys when we come back? All right, back here. Jackson Dart's going to start on Monday night. And today, Omarion Hampton is not going to play. He has been ruled out. Kamani Vidal, starter sit against the Raiders.
More of a flex for me than an RB2. Terrible offensive line situation. Raiders, the only thing they're good at is stopping the run. Vidal's been all over the place in terms of fantasy production. So he's a flex.
Okay. So the Bucs situation with Bucky Irving, he's going to play. They haven't committed to how many snaps he will get. Earlier in the week, you had him very low. How are you feeling about Bucky Irving now?
I still have him very low. I think if you have to start Bucky Irving or Sean Tucker and maybe even Rachaad White, there's upside that one of these guys is going to be good. I have no idea which one of these guys is going to be good. We talked about this earlier in the week. Last week, Chris Godwin played 25 snaps in his return. That's kind of about what I'm expecting for Bucky. So he is my favorite Tampa Bay running back, but I just talked about how I don't want to start Kamani Vidal. I would start him over any Tampa Bay running back. I would start Chris Rodriguez over any Tampa Bay running back.
Would you start Zonovan Knight, who's going to
I would.
And yeah, boy, he's been really bad running the football lately. Okay, so he's going up against Tampa Bay. Let's discuss them, because Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to play today, reportedly. And what does that mean for him? What does that mean for Michael Wilson?
So I think all of us probably would have thought when Marvin Harrison Jr. comes back, Michael Wilson goes away. The Cardinals have said that he's earned a bigger role. I don't think Jacoby Brissett's going to support Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson, and Trey McBride, even though he's clearly not fantasy poison, as some people have called him in the past. I view Harrison as right around wide receiver 24, a great wide receiver 3, a low-end wide receiver 2, and I think I have Wilson 1 or 2 spots behind him.
Okay. Let's see what else we got here. We've got Chris Olave with back spasms. That is a 1:00 game, so you know what to do. I mean, if he's healthy and he's active, you start Chris Olave. If he's out, are there any sleepers that you'd consider?
No.
Okay. Brian Thomas Jr. is going to play. What does this mean for your Jaguars?
No Jag is in my top 30. Jacoby Myers is my favorite Jacksonville wide receiver right now. He's wide receiver 35-ish. I don't want to start Thomas in his first game back.
Dalton Kincaid is questionable, and both offensive tackles are out for Buffalo, and they're at Pittsburgh, and there might be bad weather. Would you start Dalton Kincaid if he played?
I mean, I think if your second tight end is playing after him, then sure. I'm not making an effort to go pick up a Darnell Washington so I can wait it out for Dalton Kincaid. If I have somebody else, I'll just start them early.
Okay, so if you had Kincaid, let's look at the late window. If you had Kincaid or Gadsden.
Gadsden.
Kincaid or the Monday night guys, Theo Johnson, Hunter Henry.
I would probably start Henry. I would probably start Kincaid over Theo.
All right. And just making sure I didn't miss anything here. Oh, Chigo Okonkwo and Alec Iomanner are both expected to play. So what does that mean for Chimere Dike?
I mean, that's just, in my opinion, a negative for anybody you might have wanted to start in Tennessee. It's possible that I think there's probably 5 different guys who could lead the Titans in receiving fantasy points today. And I don't want to start any of them.
All right, we're going to do a couple minutes of emails. Parker Washington or Quentin Johnston? Well,
those are definitely not emails. I would go Quentin Johnston.
No, I told all the people who emailed us to go onto YouTube today and make them chat questions. So, Cortland Sutton, Tedero McMillan, Wan'Dale Robinson, or Devin Neal. Pick 2.
It would be Tedero McMillan and Wan'Dale Robinson for me.
Kamani Vidal, Cortland Sutton, or Devin Neal. Pick 2.
That full PPR, I'm going to go with Neal and Sutton.
Rank Quentin. You're starting Devin Neal over Kamani Vidal.
In full PPR only. He has the biggest difference amongst running backs between full PPR and half or none, because they've been throwing the ball to running backs more since Tyler Shuck took over. Yeah. And I think he had 6 targets last week.
Quentin Johnston, Brian Thomas Jr., Keenan Allen in non-PPR. Rank them.
In non-PPR, I will go Quentin Johnston, then Allen, then Thomas.
Rico Dowdle or Kenneth Gainwell, PPR.
Rico.
Michael Wilson, Ricky Pearsall, or Bucky Irving, PPR.
I'll still go with Wilson.
Troy Franklin, Michael Wilson, Chris Rodriguez, pick 2, PPR.
Wilson and Franklin.
Kincaid or Brenton Strange, if we find out that Kincaid is playing.
I'd probably just stick with Strange.
ETN or Abuka?
Ooh, that's a very good one. They're both pretty much must starts for me now, but I would slightly favor ETN.
Guillotine League, PPR, Marvin Harrison Jr., Chris Olave, Stephon Diggs, or Jalen Warren?
It's Olave. The guillotine, I don't know if you want to take the risk of that injury. Olave has the highest projection, And I would go with Warren if he's not there, but Warren's probably safer than Olave, even if Olave plays.
Warren or Bucky Irving. We're definitely going to go with Warren there.
Yep.
Jaden Higgins or John Mechie.
Higgins.
Neal or Mooney.
Neal.
And one more. Aaron Jones or Troy Franklin.
Franklin.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Listen, we got a show from 11 to 1 p.m. So tune in, youtube.com/fantasyfootball today. Also, vote for us at the64.com. We have moved on. America's best sports talk radio podcast. We have moved on to the Elite Eight. Holy moly. We've got some heavy hitters still left. Like, if we win, we're going to go up against Pardon My Take or the Pat McAfee Show. So vote for us.
You got to get prepared. You're not the tiebreaker today. I think we got like an hour of you and me.
Yeah, so we do.
You're gonna be given a lot of lineup advice today.
Oh boy, you're in trouble, folks. We're looking forward to talking to you at 11 a.m. Eastern. Again, it's youtube.com/fantasyfootball today. See you later, everybody. Good luck in week 13.